Let's talk about my top favorite concealers of the year. These are my latest concealers that I've purchased, I've tried, and I fell in love with them. Everything that you've seen so far, if I've not decluttered, they're still favorite concealers, but these are my top 5 that I recommend, and these are all from Sephora that I'm going to talk about. If you want to see my other concealers that I truly love and how they perform on me, check out my other videos. I will make sure, if I remember, to link in my concealer declutter down below, and then you can see kind of like what I love and what I've decluttered. Let's get into the video. If you're interested in what I'm wearing on my face and lips and everything, I will try link everything down below, all of the products I've used. I will also have a short on how I've created this makeup look in case you're interested or wondering. But let's get started. And the way I am going to talk about this concealer is in a order from the cheapest to the most priciest. So I'm gonna insert B-rolls of applications, and you will notice that I have absolutely nothing on my face when I've tried these concealers on. No foundation, nothing, just moisturizer, because I wanted to make sure that you guys can see how these concealers actually look on bare skin, how much coverage it provides, how brightening they are. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the cheapest one, and the cheapest one is $30, and it is by Tower 28, and this is the Tower 28 concealer in the shade DTLA, and it's 6.5 milliliters. So I'm going to give you the pricing and the milliliters in each product so that you can kind of get an idea on how much product you get per pricing. So this is such a beautiful concealer. I love the packaging. I love the purple top, and this concealer has been wonderful. I bought 2 shades, and the other darker shade I have passed on to my daughter. She can use it all over her face if she wants, and I kept the lightest one to kind of use underneath my eye for a brightening effect. This concealer is very hydrating. Like all of my other concealers I'm going to talk in today's video. I love a hydrating concealer, and I love a concealer that has skincare ingredients, and all of these products will have skincare ingredients. This concealer is very good for acne, any blemishes on your face, and any type of dark circles. It has a natural finish, and it's a medium buildable coverage. When I apply it, it looks flawless underneath my eyes. It feels very hydrating. It does provide a brightening effect. It looks very natural. All of these concealers will not crease into your fine lines immediately. However, if you do have fine lines, do not judge the concealer based on the creasing, because it will crease in your fine lines. It's just very natural. I have watched Natasha Denona on her Instagram page, and she has mentioned that after applying, at least she's talking about her concealer, but I'm sure this applies to other concealers. After you apply your concealer, you will let it sit for a bit so that it settles into any of your fine lines on your face, like 2 to 3 minutes. Then with your finger, you go from outwards, inwards, and you kind of smudge underneath your eye, and that should kind of fix the problem of creasing. So every time you see any type of settling in your fine lines, try to do that, and that will fix it. So please don't judge the concealers based on the creasing. I mean, it's up to you, however you want, but from my perspective, when I look at a concealer, I will not judge it based on creasing. I will look at that for sure. If I see it very heavy, very drying, that's my concern spots for a concealer. But or if it doesn't do the things that I want it to do, if I buy it for a brightening effect, if it doesn't brighten my under eye area, and if it looks too heavy and too makeup-y, then that's not a concealer that I like. So here is a swatch of the Tower 28. You can see how beautiful and hydrating it feels. It has more of a peachy undertone, perfect to cover those under eye circles. It looks beautiful. Love this concealer. Okay, so let's move on to the next in pricing. So we're gonna go a little bit higher, and this is the Rare Beauty Positive Light Under Eye Brightener, and this retails for $33 on the Sephora Canada website, and it has 4 milliliters of product. So it's much less than the Tower 28. The difference is that it has a very nice cooling metal ball, so the doe foot applicator is much different. This under eye brightener, I take it as a concealer because it does brighten the under eye area. However, it's very hydrating as well, and it comes in the description as light coverage. However, I think that this provides medium coverage. As you will see in the B-roll, you will see how beautiful the under eye area gets covered without looking cakey or makeup-y. It looks very natural, and it has a beautiful radiant finish. It looks like your eyes are awakened and are the under eye area is very brightening, and I really love the metal applicator. At first, the only thing I don't love about it is that you cannot grab as much product as you want, but again, you don't want to add too much product underneath your eyes, especially if you're wearing foundation. And I do love the cooling effect to it. It's just a bonus. It doesn't do anything. It's not going to depuff your under eyes because it's just a very tiny little bowl applicator, but it's a very interesting idea, and I really love how it feels underneath the eye. So I definitely recommend this one as well. It's a very affordable one, $33. It has never let me down, and you can wear it with serum foundations, being a more light under eye brightener. However, you can also wear it with some full coverage foundation. So this works with both foundations. I also love the packaging, how it's more rounded on one side and it's flat and rectangle on the other side. That actually really helps with the product not rolling off of your desk, and I love you can just place it nicely for picture taking as well. It's not going to move on the desk for you. So let me swatch this Rare Beauty under eye brightener. So you can see the applicator is a little bit harder to apply the product, but underneath the eye it just goes much better. It feels very cooling, very hydrating, definitely a brightening shade, and you can see how beautiful and hydrating it feels and it looks on the hand. That's exactly how it looks underneath the eye. Now, very interesting, my next product is a luxury concealer, but it's in the middle price range, and it's only $39 for a luxury concealer. And what I'm talking about is the Dior Backstage Concealer. Now, this is more of a newer product in my collection. This retails for $39, and it has 11 milliliters of product in here. This is probably the most product I have seen in a concealer, especially in the ones I'm going to talk about today. 11 milliliters. That's a lot. That is, in case you're interested, 0.37 fluid ounces. That's insane. That's a lot of product here. This product is new in my collection. I've worn it a couple times, but I had to include it in today's video because it's one of the most interesting concealers I have tried. I have another Dior concealer, and this, let me show you what I'm talking about. The Dior Forever Skin Corrector. So they're both by Dior. However, if you were to pick one up, I would go with the Dior Backstage. And why is that? The applicator is so interesting and different than what I've seen. It has more of a brush applicator. Okay, so back to this Dior one. The packaging is interesting. I've just noticed the beautiful design that it has on top of the lid, and I think this is a frosted glass, so I really love it. It fits perfectly in the inner corner of your eye, underneath the eye. It's just so beautiful. This again is a hydrating concealer. It's very radiant. You have to go very little. I like in the B-roll, you'll see that I will apply a more exaggerated amount because I wanted to show you the coverage and how it just looks underneath the eye. However, if I were to put it on top of foundation, I will definitely apply less. Otherwise, it will become a little bit too much. So be careful with that. But it's good for dark circles. It is long wearing. I've noticed that it stays underneath your eyes all day long. It's so creamy and emollient that it will eventually settle into your lines. So go very, very little, and a little bit just spread underneath your eyes, and that does the job. It's a medium to full coverage concealer. And I love about this concealer that it is waterproof, it is crease proof, and it comes with that beautiful brush applicator. So let me show you the shade on my hand. It feels like skincare. Now, a tip is when you put the brush applicator in, make sure that you don't rush because you don't want to kind of break those bristles of that brush. I've noticed in Sephora, the testers, all of the bristles were like spread and wrecked, so be very careful. But this is what the concealer looks like. It's very brightening, very hydrating, and very, very creamy. It feels more heavy than the other ones, than the Rare Beauty especially. Feels very similar in the hydration. However, very little goes a long way. So start with very little. You can build it up. Now, here is another concealer that has shocked me in pricing. It is obviously more expensive than the Dior, but less expensive than my fifth concealer, which is interesting. And I'm talking about the beautiful concealer by Natasha Denona. I have a full review on my channel on this product. I am not sure if that video will be before or after. I have so many videos that I've created. I need to edit and put them out there, and I have so many video ideas that I'm not sure which one goes first, but look for the video on this product where I go into detail on how to apply this even as a foundation based on Natasha Denona's tips. But I have two shades, and the shades I picked up are N3, which is Fair Light Neutral, and P2, Fair Light Peach. Here's the peachy one, and here is the neutral one. This concealer retails for $41 Canadian each, and it has 7 milliliter of product in it. 7 milliliter, you're wondering in ounces, 0.25 ounces. I love this concealer, of course, like all my other ones. These are my top concealers. This is very hydrating. Beautiful, beautiful coverage underneath the eyes. Beautiful coverage all over the face. Here is a secret. I'm wearing the N3 all over my face as a foundation. That's on my face. P2 underneath my eyes and N3 all over my face. This is a beautiful brightening concealer. It depuffs your under eye area. It has amazing skin ingredients. You can just check them out on the website if you're interested in the skincare ingredients. It is crease proof. It is a medium buildable coverage. You can see I think that for me this is medium to full coverage, what I see. I picked mine in the peach one just to eliminate any type of blueness or purple underneath my eyes. If you have brown underneath your eyes, then make sure you go with an R1, which stands for rosy. So choose an R1 instead of a P or an N, which is N is neutral, P is peach. It's very luminous, so you can see the luminosity it gives to my skin. It has a matte finish. It's supposed to be a luminous matte finish, which is interesting, right? If it's matte, how can it be luminous? But here is the proof. It mattifies the face because I'm using it all over my face today. And it also illuminates the skin. It's very interesting. It's very long lasting. They claim that this lasts up to 19 hours. I cannot claim that. However, I did wear it for a full day from morning till night, and the skin looks as perfect as when I applied it. One of my favorite concealers. Stay tuned till the end because I will let you know out of all these concealers what are my top 2. Now let me swatch this for you. So let's start with N3. That is what's all over my face. I have fair skin. My hand is obviously much lighter, but you can see that this actually matches my skin very nice. And P2, which is more peachy, to go underneath my eyes. It's right there. I love it so much. You can see in the B-roll how beautiful it looks. They definitely look darker on the hand. I was very scared at first when I applied this to my hand, but after I worked them into my skin, I'm just in love with them. They're just so hydrating and it's just perfect amount of coverage. Again, with this product is very creamy, so make sure that a little bit goes a long way. Always start with very little product, and for the sake of the video I did add more so you guys can see how it looks, but these shades are just perfect. So if you're interested, this is N3 P2. And let's talk about my last concealer, and it is my last one based on the pricing because it's the most expensive out of them all. Why is that? I'm not sure. This is the Haus Labs concealer. The Haus Labs concealer I have in the shade 11 Light Neutral retails for $43.50. And the amount that you get in here is 7 milliliters, which is the same as the Natasha Denona. So it's a little bit more expensive by a couple dollars. This concealer, very hydrating. I fell in love with it after I've purchased it. I do have a review on it as well, so you can check that detailed review, my thoughts, how I applied it, how it worked on my skin, how it lasted. But again, this is good for acne, good for blemishes. It provides great coverage underneath your eyes without making it look makeup-y, without making it look heavy. Your under eye area looks very brightening and natural. It does have a very natural finish, and it does have a medium coverage. So I love this. It is actually a frosted glass packaging. Love it. The only thing that I have a problem with, which I discussed in the video where I have reviewed this product, is when you put the spatula in, the opening is very tight, so it's going to bend your spatula a bit. So be careful not to break it. But this is what this product looks. It's more of it's probably one of the heaviest creams out of them all. So I do love the product. I've noticed that not much product comes on the actual sponge of the spatula, but again, the formula is just amazing. Very hydrating, beautiful, perfect coverage. I love how it just melts into the skin. So definitely recommend this concealer as well. I hope that these 5 concealers kind of give you an idea on the pricing. They're all beautiful, so you're not going to choose a wrong one if you go with one that's not my top 2 favorites. Okay, so they're all beautiful depending on what you're looking for, but they all provide light to full coverage. You can build it up to full coverage. You can just add a dot for a very light, hydrating, natural finish underneath your eyes with the perfect amount of coverage to eliminate any type of circles underneath your eyes, redness. Top 2 concealers that I recommend out of this all, and it's not based on pricing because, you know, it's just a difference of a couple dollars. It's not like $10 off. I guess it is if you go from Tower 28, but this is an amazing concealer if you are more looking for budget-friendly concealers. However, Dior, the Dior one, I love so much. I am just in love with this product. Better than this one. So I used to love this one, but now I love this one more. I guess I can use this one as a foundation. It kind of looks like a foundation, even though there's 11 milliliters in it too. But I think my top favorite is the Natasha Denona one. I just love it so much because I love how it looks all over my face, underneath my eyes. I've worn it daily since I picked this up and it has never disappointed me. So these are my top 2 favorite out of the 5 that I've chosen. But again, whatever you choose, you're not going to make a mistake because they are all very great concealers. Anyways, I hope this was helpful in helping you choose the perfect concealer. I think I covered pretty much everything that I'm looking for in a concealer. Hydrating, natural finish, medium to buildable coverage, and not cakey and makeupy looking underneath the eyes. I think all of us are kind of looking for those type of concealers, and all of these 5 concealers I've mentioned today, they do provide those steps. Anyways, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.